You are a born champion, yeah. We are the born champion.
Well, welcome back into studio. This is the big question, not Monday football. I'm used to sitting in this set on doing Monday football. Today, the big question is all about sports governance and rugby in particular. We have the coach of the National Sevens team in studio as well as one of the players, that is Nelson Oyo. We'd like to apologize for not having the rest of the panel here. We left the function for the Kenya Sevens team quite late, almost 7 p.m. in the evening, and I'm sure most of them are caught up in traffic before they got home and came into the studio. It was going to be a challenge, but with Benjamin and Nelson Oyo in studio, we're going to try and salvage what we can. Benja, how long was the flight from Singapore?
It was 7 hours and a bit, 7 hours and 5 minutes from Singapore. Yep. We had a layover of 3.5 hours, and it was 5.5 hours from there. Coming into Kenya.
Was the celebration over by the time you're getting onto the plane coming home?
It didn't even start then. We just realized there's a celebration here. So for us, it's only started. Okay. In fact, yeah, I still got the whole of my family in my house, as I speak.
Well, Oyo, when you landed, looking outside the plane window, were you surprised by what you saw?
Yeah, we were surprised. We weren't expecting something that big. But when we landed, we were just like popping out from the plane. You could see fans all over, the singing, the dancing. It was just amazing.
You took quite some time, Nelson, before you guys came out. What was the discussion in the plane?
We weren't discussing much. We wanted just first to give the people who we came with some time to get out of the plane, because we didn't want them to be involved in our business, because probably they would have been confused. Most of them didn't expect as much as us, so just wanted to give them time first.
Okay. Benja, this is 114 tournaments.
Yeah.
We've got to the finals. We've almost won it. Actually, when we almost won it against England, you were still the coach.
Yes.
This time, we made it. The last interview you did in Hong Kong, you said, when we go to Singapore, we'll go a step further and something big is coming.
Yes.
What made you so confident?
Well, when you look at your players, I mean, you know they have a conviction in their eyes, and we prepared well. And it's the 8th tournament. We said we're going to peak at the right time, of course, with a lot of prayer as well. So it's a conviction you have once you see the confidence in the players, and that was the time.
That final, actually semi-finals first.
Yes.
Was there a discussion that if it goes into a deadlock, because we are trailing all the time, we never took the lead?
It's a discussion. It's a discussion, but it takes a moment of madness to want to kick the ball 40 meters. It's going to take nerves of steel, because even if you miss the kick, you still have a chance to qualify through sudden death. But that was still a 50-50 call. So this was the best bet yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Nelson, there's one try that you made in the finals. I'd like you to take us through that try. You just came in, fresh legs, and if the director can put on that clip, you kept calling for the ball. You kept calling for the ball. Why was that urgency to call for that ball?
I believe I have speed. That's basically some of the things that have kept me in the team. So I kept calling on the ball because I knew the person who was the opponent against me, I knew he was not that. He didn't have that much speed. So I was confident that if I'm given that ball, I'm going to go through. Yeah. That's why I kept on calling up the ball.
What did Benja tell you when you were coming on? Because you had a discussion with him.
Yeah.
What was the conversation about?
This is your time. Yeah.
This is your time.
Yeah, that's all he told me.
It stuck in your head.
Yeah.
After that try, did you feel this is it? The game is over now?
Yeah. After that try, we were now confident that we had already wrapped the game, because when we look at the time that was remaining, it was almost impossible for them to come back. At that time, we were about 25-7. It was almost impossible. They needed to make about 3 tries, and for the 3 tries they needed to convert them. So it was almost impossible.
Okay. Benja, outside the pitch, this team has achieved more than people expected.
Yes.
With a lot of hiccups
Yes.
and obstacles on the way.
Yes.
How did you survive all these obstacles?
First, Mike, it's definitely a miracle. The boys never got a coin for 5 months since they started training. I think the first money they saw was in January, and they've not seen any since until I think just before we left. And it goes to say there's a lot of sacrifices being made. I've really got to keep my players focused without and asking them to forget about the bills that they've got to pay. As you know, our sponsors have been in the red, so it's one of the most difficult things to do. And when you talk about patriotism, I think my team qualifies as one of the most patriotic. They've done all this without any significant tunes. Of course, the tunes had to be slashed heavily. It is nothing near what was in the last 3 years. So to refocus and to tell the boys that first we need to dig ourselves out of this hole that we're in, number 13 and all, and to come out and win the tournament in the season. I think it's something we set out to do this season. It's happened now. I still think we still have some gas in the tank for the next 2 tournaments, and then of course the Olympics.
Looking at where you took the team,
Yes.
morale was low, number 1.
Yes.
There was no money, number 2.
Yeah.
How was the training regime? Did you change the training regime for the boys?
Yes.
How did you train?
We heavily changed it. I've got coaches, and the bench is a very motivated one. Of course, you know, we have Kim there, very good at his job.
This is Geoffrey Kimani.
Geoffrey Kimani, yes. We've got Paul Mulunga, who's my assistant, very dedicated man. Newton Ongalo, who's the manager, keeps us all in check when we're all losing our heads and things are not going right. And of course, Lamek Bogonko, who's is as young as the players. Sometimes there's other players who are older than him, but still does his job without any hiccups. And he's usually the first to train, and we train early in the morning. We start training at 6 o'clock. So it's a team that really sacrificed a lot. I think God has really rewarded us, because now, judging from the reaction today, I think many of those sponsors will want to come back.
With all these problems that you've had, 5 months no pay, I mean, equipment at times is a problem.
Yeah.
Players have to be motivated to come for training and go back home.
Yes.
They need supplements, they need all these things.
Yeah.
Why didn't we ever hear the sound of SOS? I mean, we're in the red, guys. We need to be taken
The problem I have with that is we lose focus. Once that is out there, when we have a lot of enemies, and we had a lot of enemies even within ourselves. Some of them were kicked out of the board, and you know the Ulabalu that they caused. They helped other people. They helped fuel other people's zeal for us not to succeed. And we had to keep it that way, because we needed to focus and get. It was a chicken and egg situation. We needed to get this before anybody else can look at us. So we cleaned house politically, and now we needed to perform for people to be able to look at us again and say, this is a product we want to associate with.
Benji, at some point you're labeled a rebel.
Yes.
Very tough man to work with. Yes. No, we cannot work with Benji. Actually, your reason for leaving the team in the first place was not performance, but was the fact that Benji is a difficult person to work with.
Yeah.
He's a kichwangumu, so to speak.
Yes.
But they still gave you that job, and you surprised them by saying, I will not discuss parts right now. I will discuss once I deliver.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, why would anybody think that you're such a kichwangumu?
Because I don't take nonsense. It doesn't matter who you are. If I think whatever it is that you're doing is going to interfere with my players and how they perform, we will have a problem. And unfortunately for many politicians in this country, when you tell them straight, they can't take it. And for me, the team performance is much more than this hogwash of people talking about. And I think we've delivered on that. We've kept away from the politics, and the boys have delivered with minimal support. And let me tell you, we are destined for big things in this country.
As we wind up from you, the director said we are out of time. We need to wind up. Coming into France and England, the last two legs of the circuit.
Yes.
These are the benchmarks for the Olympics. No any other major tournament until we go into the Olympics.
Yeah.
Is this the selection platform, and how are you handling this tournament?
Actually, the selection has been going on since Safari Sevens for us. Because once you get a team that is clicked, it doesn't matter how many more competitions you play. It is how those people gel and how much you train with them. And that's why we did not. That's why for us, it's good that we picked now, because we're picking at the right time. Now we know what competitions work, which ones we need to finally try out in France and in England. And oh, it's going to be something else. The Olympics. Can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Olympics, Benja is being economical with his words. Earlier on when he spoke, he told me going into France and England is going to be a very different affair, because normally they carry 12 players, but it will not be 12 players. It will be more than 12 players playing in these two tournaments, because those who play in France and those who play in England might change. But because they fly KQ and KQ can take all these players, a big bunch will be going there. Nelson, the celebrations in the dressing room. First, everybody thought that you'll do some dance. Let's look at what happened in the dressing room. Which one is this? Take us through that one.
So say champions, champions, champions.
Champions with no shirt.
Yeah, remember, now the guys are just from showering and recovering. So they've not dressed up totally, but everyone. That's the point. We all gathered at the same time. Yeah. So this was just before they got into that changing room, because I was in the other changing room, the first picture.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is just when we stepped out of the field and we got into the showers, rolled out, and then the last one was when they come to join the technical bench in celebration as well.
On the pitch, when you're having the trophy, the phone thingy. Who came up with that?
You're the one who said. You're the one who put the music in later on. I saw that. I saw you put it in the music.
So you guys were watching?
Yes. No, you tweeted it. I think you tweeted it or
yes.
Yes. Once you tweeted, you put the music and tweeted it. But of course, that's what we're doing.
So, Nelson, tell me, who came up with that dance?
That dance came up in, I think, Las Vegas. I didn't go for that leg. Yes. Yeah. But it's a good song celebrating. We are best at what to do, and off pitch, after we have done good, we need to celebrate.
Okay. Well, that's what we have for today. Benja, thank you very much for coming to studio. I know you guys are tired after all the travel and coming in. Nelson, thanks a lot for coming in, but I know there's no sleeping, you're still celebrating. Well, this is the national sevens team. We need to support these boys. In case you missed everything else that we did today, we are live with them at the airport. We're going to upload all those ones on our website. Please go there, check it out, www.citizentv.co.ke. That is where you get all the celebrations and all the fun. That's all we have for you. Next is Anki Guta with the business news.
Oh,